At harinawa, inshallah, sa suporta ng ating Senado o ng buong Kongreso, makapag-provide ng kinakailangang financial literacy skills training sa mga pati sa recipients ng monetary award. So may monetary award na po, meron pa pong gustong idagdag na financial literacy skills training para siguruhin na yung matatanggap nila ay mailalaan sa productive use. At yan po, mabuting Ginoong Pangulo, ay kaugnay nung unang punto na sinabi ninyo kanina. Dahil naalala ko po, a few weeks pagkatapos na matapos yung gera dun sa Marawi at nandun po kami sa isang evacuation center kasama nung mga kabaro namin ni Chair Maysara, mga babae, kapwa babae namin, mga nanay. Yung isa sa napakaraming bumabagabag sa kanila ay talagang nag-aalala sila sa kanilang mga anak na hindi sana daw dapat mangyari na dahil sa trauma nung gera ay ma-attract din sa ganung klaseng mga mararahas na gawain sa isang panig man o sa ibang panig nung gera. At ako po bilang isang taga-suporta ng Marawi Compensation Board, tulad po ng mabuting Ginoo at ng lahat ng mga kasama rin dito, ang chair ng special committee na principal author at sponsor din ng batas na naglikha ng MCB, ay naniniwala na lahat nung makatatanggap ng compensation ay isa sa pangunahin sa kanilang kaisipan at sa kanilang puso ay magamit itong maliit na simbolo ng compensation sa kanilang pagdurusa para itanim ng mas malalim at mas matatag yung mga ugat ng kapayapaan, mga ugat ng pagbangon muli at pag-unlad, ugat ng katarungan doon po sa Marawi. Mabuting Ginoong Pangulo.
Opo, Ginang Pangulo, meron pong nabanggit kayong BARM. Pwede po bang malaman kung ano ang ginagawa ng BARM para sa Marawi Compensation Board? Meron po ba silang tulong? Meron po ba silang assistance na hindi naman ang gagaling sa national government, kundi galing sa kanila, sa kanilang pondo? Meron po ba?
Mabuting Ginoong Pangulo, ayon po sa chair ng MCB, sa ngayon, sa pagsisimula ng pag-award ng board sa mga beneficiaries, ay wala pa pong nagiging papel ng BARM. Pero mabuti po napag-usapan din po natin iyan, mabuting Ginoo, dahil nga nag-iisip po tayo ng pwedeng panggalingan ng dagdag na resources para matupad ng MCB ang kanilang mandato. So posible pong i-explore pa po natin ito kaugnay ng BARM. Dagdag po dyan, mabuting Ginoong Pangulo, in particular po yung Ministry of Social Welfare and Development ng BARM, sa ilalim po ni Minister Attorney Raisa Jaljuri, ay maaari pong makatulong at aming pong aalamin po iyon at kukonsultahin sila. Mabuting Ginoo.
Sige po.
Yes, Senator De La Rosa is recognized.
With the permission of Senator Padilla,
Opo,
Madam Sponsor,
Yes.
during our hearings, we heard that from members of Parliament of BARM, they say that naglalagay rin daw sila ng pundo para makatulong dyan sa Marawi SIDS victims. So siguro, it's just a matter of coordination with the board. Baka pwede nyo silang kausapin na maka-avail yung victims ng yung suggestion ni Senator Robinson Padilla, yung mga livelihood. Baka pwede silang maka-offer dahil alam natin may sariling pundo, yung may block grant yung BARM, di ba? Baka di can share a portion of that block grant para doon sa mga Marawi victims. Siguro, siguro. Kasi narinig ko, ilang beses ko narinig yung sasabi ng mga member of parliament ng BARM na, Sir, we are willing. Baka akala nyo, pinabayaan lang namin yung national government at saka LGU ng Marawi. We are willing. They are our brothers. Mga relatives namin yan sila. Tutulungan namin yan sila. So siguro, matter of coordination lang.
Salamat kayo.
Sponsor.
Dagang salamat, good gentleman. Maganda nga ang i-explore kaugnay nung non-monetary programs na meron na po or iniisip na po ng Marawi Compensation Board. I-explore din po, lalo na dun sa Ministry of Social Welfare and Development, kung pwede rin silang mag-ambag sa ganitong paraan. Salamat kayo.
Opo. Ginoong Pangulo at Ginang tagapamahala, meron lang po akong Kasi nabanggit po ng ating mahal na senador na Senator Bato na merong black grant sa BARM. At napabalita po na marami silang pondo na hindi pa nagagamit. At ito po ay ilang beses nang napag-usapan, hindi lamang po dito sa mataas na kapulungan, pati po sa malaking kapulungan, sa House. Hindi po ba parang wala po bang paraan diyan sa sinasabi po diyan sa batas na yan na yung 6 billion na unprogram, baka pwede namang humiram muna tayo diyan sa unused fund ng BARM para naman makasigurado tayo na meron tayong ibang babayad diyan sa mga claimants. Yan ba hindi nating maaaring gawin? Wala po ba dyan sa batas na sinasabi?
Mr. President, with the permission of Senator
Yes, Mr.
Robinson
President,
Padilla and
good
the
gentleman.
sponsor, baka mamaya ba, ako ang sisihin ng taga-BARM, bakit ko sinabi yan? Tapos, gusto ka lang to make it clear that BARM exercises their own fiscal autonomy. Tayo sa national government, we cannot dictate them on how to dispose of their funds. Meron silang sariling fiscal autonomy. So, yun lang, baka sabihin nila, binanggit ko yung black grant nila ngayon, napapakialaman na natin. Yun lang ang gusto ko klaruin.
Opo.
Good
Salamat
sponsor
po,
at
opo.
Senator Robinson Padilla.
Yes.
Thank you.
Salamat kaayo, good gentleman,
Mr.
Mr. President. Sa mahalagang paalalang iyon tungkol sa prinsipyo ng financial autonomy na in-embed din po ng ating Senado at Kongreso sa batas na iyon. At kung ganyan naman matatag yung ating pag-obserba ng mga prinsipyong iyon, na-facilitate din naman po yung pagkonsulta o pakikipag-ugnayan sa isa't isa. At ayon nga po sa input ng MCB, 66 million pesos was given by Task Force Bangon Marawi to the Ministry of Trade and Industry of BARM for the livelihood of Marawi victims. So with full respect dun sa financial autonomy ng BARM government sa block grant, sa ganitong impormasyon ay pwede pong magkonsulta kung dahil kumbaga naka-earmark na rin pala yung halagang iyon sa ministrong iyon para sa livelihood ng Marawi victims, mag-explore po ng partnership sa pagitan ng MCB at ng ministry sa ganyan pong klaseng programa.
Opo, yun naman po ang tinutumbok natin. Total, kami mga Muslim. Kami magkakapatid na Muslim. Hindi kami iba sa isa't isa. Kung ano ang nararamdaman ng kapatid mong Muslim na paghihirap, dapat nararamdaman mo. Hindi ito usapin ng politika, hindi ito usapin ng batas. Usapin ito ng pagiging magkapatid. At hindi naman tayo tatakbuhan ng gobyerno. Naniniwala ako kung tayo makahiram ng pera sa gobyerno, sa national government. Hindi ako naniniwalang tatakbuhan tayo. Ang pinag-uusapan natin dito, faith, pananampalataya natin, brotherhood, sisterhood. Hirap ang gobyerno, hirap ang national government, humanap ng pera. Paabutin ba natin sa punto na yung mga kapatid natin mag-aantay na parang kawawa? Ay meron naman tayong pera? Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ngayon, meron pa po akong isang tanong.
Mabuting Ginoo, Mr. President, bago po magpatuloy ang Mabuting Ginoo, dagdag na punto dun sa huling tinatalakay nila. May impormasyon din po na yung BARM Special Committee on Marawi, iba man siya, distinct talaga siya sa MCB adjudication, pero ito pong BARM Special Committee ay nag-allocate ng 500 million pesos bawat taon para sa Marawi. So nakikita po natin kung paano yung mga ministry at mga special committee ng BARM ay talagang hindi rin tinatakbuhan ang Marawi. Kaya magandang sabayan po talaga, patuloy na sabayan ng pambansang gobyerno sa pabagitan naman ng GAA na kasunod ng 1 billion pesos na nailaan na, hanapan po talaga ng makakapagpondo ng 6 billion na unprogrammed funds sa ngayon.
Opo, tama po kayo. At alam ko din po yung mga programa na yan ng BARM para doon sa mga Marawi victims. Ang pinupunto ko lamang po, aming mahal na ginang na tagapamahala, kung hindi, yung patungkol lamang po doon sa 6 billion na ang program fund na hindi pa natin alam kung saan po manggagaling. Yun po ay isang mungkahi lang na maaring explore nila, sabi nga po ninyo. Opo, meron na lang po isang tanong, ginang na tagapamahala. Katulad po, ang alam niyo po sa Islam, napakahalaga ng karapatan ng hindi Muslim. Sa amin, ang turo sa amin ng Propeta Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, bago mo isipin yung sarili mo as Muslim, isipin mo muna yung kapitbahay mo na hindi Muslim. Ngayon, paano po kaya yung mga biktima diyan sa Marawi na hindi Muslim? Paano po ang kanilang compensation? Patas ba ito? Meron po ba tayong tinitingnan dito?
Mabuting Ginoo, Ginoong Pangulo. Ang gandang tugon po, ay sorry, may Sara. Ang gandang halimbawa dun sa sinasabi ng mabuting Ginoo dahil nagkakataon po na listed first pa nga sa priority of claims. Pati yung mga non-Muslim victims, halimbawa na namatay nung siege, kasama po sila sa compensation package. Ayon po sa Marawi Compensation Board, halos 90% ng mga death claims ay non-Muslim laborers mula po sa mga malalapit na syudad ng Iligan, Initaw, Naawan at iba pa. Dagdag pa po doon, yung unang batch ng recipients para sa monetary awards ay death claims po at magkakaroon nga po ng commemorative program sa susunod na Lunes para ibigay yung unang batch ng awards. Nagkakataon po, anibersaryo ng Marawi Liberation. Mabuting Ginoo.
Yan na po ang pinakamagandang narinig ko ngayong araw na ito. Sapagkat dito po napatunayan ng Marawi Compensation Board na itong board na ito ay pinapatakbo ng mga Muslimin at Muslimat. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Maraming salamat po, Ginang Tagapamahala. Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Pangulo.
Salamat po, Mr. President.
Napagsabihan po ako noon na kung gusto ko pong baguhin yung pulisya ng pangongolekta to PTA, gumawa po ako ng batas. Now, I don't have to dahil nakita ko na po, very clear na sa akin, na meron naman pala talagang batas. Kaya lang, yung batas na yun ay hindi na-implement. Republic Act 4206 noong 1965 na enact yan, which prohibits collection and even voluntary or otherwise from elementary schools sa public schools except for Red Cross, except for in fact the only ones that was mentioned was Red Cross. Now, noong 1969, RA 5546 was enacted para ma-amend yung 4206. Dito po sa 5546, mas lalo naging malawak po yung prohibition sa collection. Maybe the good sponsor might want to react doon po sa dalawang batas na aking pong nabanggit.
Thank you. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. Here. Mr. President, the concern of the gentleman was raised during the hearing. And the Vice President Secretary of DepEd responded by mentioning Department Order number 49 series of 2022, which is a no fee, no collection policy. Tama ba yun? No fee, no collection policy, which they are strictly implementing. And it was further discussed during that hearing that there is the PTA in almost every school that does their own fundraising efforts. And it being a parent-initiated organization, they are allowed to do that. So in connection with the law that His Honor pointed out, that is exactly consistent with the department order of the department.
But the
Which is
department
an
order
oppo-
cannot
if I may-
supersede.
if I may just
right,
continue, Your Honor.
Okay.
So the department order has the very same policy. No fee, no collection. The department and all their subordinates, meaning the teachers, are not allowed to initiate or to tolerate these collection efforts. But this does not prevent the parents from having their own fundraising. This system has been practiced for decades. Ayan, finally lumakas. This system has been practiced for decades, and it has been a private initiative of the parents that has allowed many projects to see the light. No, anything from gate, fencing, gardening, events. It's a PTA initiative, and I think that's why it was mentioned that if there is a desire to change that policy, there must be a law, because currently the DepEd order is consistent with the existing law mentioned by His Honor.
Okay, Mr. President, may I ask the good sponsor kung sabihin niya sa akin yung bang department order na yon at saan po doon sa dalawang batas na binanggit ko, RA 4206 and RA 5546, alin doon na nagsasabing pinapayagan na mangolekta ang mga eskwelahan o mga magulang para sa kontribusyon sa eskwelahan. Can you please show it to me? Maybe I can help the good sponsor para mas mapabilis tayo rito, if she will allow me to.
Your Honor, if His Honor Mr. President, if His Honor can give me a minute to just review, and then I will be happy to yield the floor, of course, anytime.
Yes, sure. Session suspended for me.
Ang point ko lamang po dito, Mr. President, Your Honor, Madam, mag-implement na tayo ng policy. Meron tayong law, then dapat it's up to the executive para ma-implement itong law. Because the last time I was informed na gumawa ako ng batas para ma-implement na raw, mag-implement ng batas. Nagagawin ko, I don't have to because meron na palang dalawang batas, Your Honor.
Yes. Your Honor, Mr. President, His Honor is correct in his paraphrasing or delivering the provisions of RA 5546 kung saan ho, and I will just read it, no, para clear,
Yes,
maintindihan din ng mga kasamahan natin yung issue po na malapit po sa puso ng ating kasamahan. The Section 1 of RA 5546 states, the sale of tickets and or the collection of contributions in any form whatsoever by any person for any project or purpose, whether voluntary or otherwise, from school children, students and teachers of public and private schools, colleges and universities is hereby prohibited. Tama po, sir, no? Yan, Mr. President, yan po ang tinutukoy ng ating kasamahan. Tama po. Tama ho ba?
I agree.
Yes, okay. So, nung ako ho ay nakikipagdiskusyon sa DepEd, aware po sila dito na bawal talaga ang collections of contributions in any form from school children, students, and teachers. And that is why in their Department Order number 49 series of 2022, known as the Promotion of Professionalism in the Implementation and Delivery of Basic Education Programs and Services, prohibits DepEd officials and employees from seeking contribution, support, solicitation of any kind or any kind of intervention from non-DepEd entities. It goes on to say, likewise, the department implements a no-fee collection policy wherein no fees shall be collected from learners in kindergarten up to grade 4, while fees on certain memberships may be collected from learners in grade 5 and above, strictly on a voluntary basis, i.e.g. Boys and Girl Scouts, Philippine National Red Cross, Parent-Teachers Associations. So ito po yata, sir, ang implementing order na hinahanap nyo, Mr. President. Is His Honor, do I respond to His Honor's question by pointing out this DepEd order number 49?
Thank you, Mr. President, Your Honor. Pero can a department order supersedes a Republic Act?
Mr. President, in my humble legal opinion, this department order is consistent with the law. But I am very open to hear His Honor's concerns kung meron dito sa department order na inconsistent. Kasi isa po ako sa naniniwala na hindi talaga dapat nagsusupersede ang
Correct.
isang department order. We are one with that. And
Thank you.
I let the record show that the minority floor leader is nodding his head because for more than a decade, magkakasama kami always reviewing this department orders. Hindi ho tayo
Okay.
nagtotolerate na nag-e-exceed.
Exactly.
So, nagkakaisa po tayo dyan, Mr. President.
Pero dito po sa RA 5546, Mr. President, Your Honor, Madam, totally pinagbabawal ang any form of collections, voluntary or otherwise, except Red Cross, Girl Scout, Boy Scout, and then donors for the support of Barrio High School. And I have a definition of Barrio High School with me. Never did this RA mention about PTA.
Yes, Your Honor. We noted that the mention of PTA is now in that department order. Upon further review and discussion with the DepEd, we are now looking at the entirety of RA 5546, wherein it states, yes. Thank you. Mr. President, when we look at RA 5546, Section 1, and I will read it again, the sale of tickets and or the collection of contributions in any form whatsoever by any person for any project or purpose, whether voluntary or otherwise, from 1, school children, 2, students, and 3, teachers are hereby prohibited. So in the case of the PTA, Your Honor, what has been the policy of DepEd since 1969, just to be clear, it is not the policy of this administration alone, but since 1969, no, minana nila ang policy, is that there is a total ban on collection from the children, the school children, the students, and other teachers. But they recognize PTA as a separate entity that on their own have their own rules and guidelines and may on their own come up with fundraisings that are voluntary in nature.
Fundraisings. Okay.
Well,
Can you-
just to be clear, Your Honor,
Okay.
that is my own choice of words,
That's
Mr.
your own choice of
President,
words.
yung fundraising. No? I
Okay.
use it generically po,
Madam-
Mr. President.
meron ba diyang batas na kung saan, batas tayo, dinidefine ang meaning and function ng PTA? Alam niyo po ba yun?
Dito
na meron?
sa RA 5546, wala hong banggit
Wala.
ng PTA.
Tama. Wala
Pero
po.
I will ask DepEd if there are
No,
any
don't
other...
ask DepEd. Ako
you
pong
don't
bahala.
need to know. Okay.
Ako nang bahala.
Yes, Mr. President.
PD 603, December 10, 1974, dinefine ang meaning ng PTA. At nowhere here na nagsasabi ang PTA pwedeng mangolekta. Ang sinasabi rito, ang PTA isang programa, samahan, na para tulungan ng mga estudyante sa kanilang academic performance. Kung ano mga problema ng estudyante, anong problema ng mga magulang at teachers tungkol sa estudyante to enhance their participation sa eskwelahan, yun po yung purpose. Look at PD 603, ma'am. I'll give you a minute. PD 603, December 10, 1974. It is a forum being provided by the law para yung mga magulang at ng mga estudyante at guro ay magkaroon ng pagkakataon mapag-usapan yung welfare ng mga estudyante. Yung pong pinakabuod. Never doon sa PD na yan did mention na pwedeng mangolekta ang PTA ng contribution o collection para sa mga proyekto ng anumang mga proyekto sa isang eskwelahan.
Yes. Mr. President, I will respond to his Honor's observation on the definition of PTA. Umpisahan ko po kung ano tong PD 603, no? This is the Child and Welfare Code. Familiar po tayo dyan. It's basically a law that governs, is meant to protect children. And Section 77. Section 77, just to be clear, malawak ho itong batas na ito kasi ito din ho ang naging foundation ng Foster Care Act na naging basis ng mga amendments natin on foster care law. So it's a very general law, quite detailed, no, in various ways of protecting children. So there is a section on home and school, chapter 2 po ito. And Article 77, as his Honor correctly points out, mentions Parent-Teachers Association. It states every elementary and secondary school shall organize a Parent-Teacher Association for the purpose of providing a forum for the discussion of problems and their solutions relating to the total school program and for ensuring the full cooperation of parents in the efficient implementation of such programs. All parents who have children enrolled in a school are encouraged to be active members of its PTA and to comply with whatever obligation and responsibility such membership entails. Parent-teacher associations all over the country shall aid the municipal and the local authorities and school officials in the enforcement of juvenile delinquent control measures and in the implementation of programs and activities to promote child welfare. Mr. President, in response to His Honor's concern or conclusion that the Parent-Teachers Association do not have the authority to collect. Tama ho, no, sir? Mr. President, that is the question, no? That the Parent-Teacher Association, by definition here in PD 603, do not have the authority to collect. That is the question,
let
correct?
me rephrase what I said. Mr. President, Your Honor, I want a clear definition in our law that states that the PTA is allowed to collect contributions, voluntary or otherwise, saan po sa ating konstitusyon, saan po sa ating batas. Yun po gusto ko para maging malinaw po sa atin lahat.
Yes,
Dapat po
understood.
nandito, meron po ba? In fact, ang nakita ko lamang pong definition ng PTA, which is, sabi mo, very vague, general, is PD 603, pinakamalapit. However, dito sa PD 603, hindi po sinasabi na ang PTA ay binuo para mangolekta sa mga estudyante ang mga eskwelahan. Mr. President, Your Honor, Madam.
Mr. President, I just needed to confer with DepEd if tama po ang intindi ko. So in Article 77 of PD 603, which I had just read into the record, as I said, it states there that that every elementary school shall organize ito nga hong PTA relating to the total school program to ensure full cooperation of parents in the efficient implementation of such programs. To address, they are meant to create a forum to address the problems and the solutions. So the practice of DepEd has been to to allow the PTA to follow the mandate of Article 77, and if they need to raise funds to be able to address these problems and solutions, including the implementation of the programs, then they are governed by their own guidelines in implementing those
I'm
programs,
sorry, Mr.
including yung at tapusin ko lang po,
Sige po.
including yung fundraising. Yan po ang naging practice ng DepEd since 1969 po.
Practice is different from what the law says. You can practice anything you want. Pwede mag-practice ang DepEd, lahat ng klaseng practice na gusto nila. Pero dapat nandoon sa batas. Pero kung wala sa batas yan, then yung practice na yun ay labag sa batas.
There is actually, Mr. President, no
sandali po.
prohibition.
Sinabi mo kasi, Madam, fundraising. So pwede mag-fundraising ang DepEd. It's been a practice through the DepEd, magkakaroon silang fundraising under PD 603. Pero, Mr. President, Your Honor, sa PD 603, wala talaga ako makita rito, kahit na letter by letter, tinitingnan ko, wala talaga nagsabi rito na pwede mag-fundraising, na pwedeng humingi ng contribution, humingi ng tinatawag na voluntary contribution. Wala talaga. So it seems to me na yung DepEd ay gumagawa-gawa ng sarili nila ng guidelines sa isang batas. Gumagawa sila ng sarili nilang IRR.
Mr. President, I'll go back to what the Republic Act states. It prohibits collection and contribution from students. And so the policy of DepEd has been to allow the PTAs to follow their own guidelines wherein contributions among the parents are allowed. So to be clear, just to be clear, Mr. President, importante po na maliwanag yung pagsagot ko sa napakamahalagang tanong ng ating kasamahan. Bawal talaga ang pagkolekta sa estudyante, and that is being honored by DepEd. In other words, hindi pwedeng maglabas ang DepEd, ang principal, ang teacher ng request or request for contribution na ibinibigay sa estudyante. Bawal po talaga yon.
Bawal.
But,
so kung bawal po, bakit po
correct.
nangongolekta pa rin sila sa mga estudyante, especially po sa mga
Mr.
hirap?
President, I would like to clarify, never po sila nangongolekta sa estudyante. Wala po silang collection sa estudyante. Ang meron,
I'm sorry,
we can
I beg to
identify
disagree.
the issue.
I beg
issue,
to disagree, ma'am. Ito po, lahat ng mga nagsumbong sa akin.
sir, the
These are
issue,
the
I don't
These
think-
are the list of parents na nagsumbong sa akin, iba't ibang eskwelahan sa buong Pilipinas, na kung saan sila po ay sa pilitang kinukolektahan ng mga electric fan at kung ano pang mga gamit sa eskwelahan, na meron man pong budget sa MOE ang DepEd for those things.
Yes. Mr. President, first of all, may I request that that list is
Yes,
submitted
I'll be
so
more
that
than happy to
we
give it to
can
you.
give it to DepEd, kasi I believe they have committed in the hearing pa lang na any violation po, iimbestigahan naman po nila. They made that commitment po. The only item left for the discussion on the floor right now is yung authority mismo ng PTA. So any direct contribution o collection sa estudyante, talaga hong iimbestigahan nila. So tama ang pagkaintindi ko, Mr. President, sa issue is, so si PTA ba pwedeng mangolekta? And ang sinasabi po sa atin ng DepEd, the policy since 1969 has been to recognize the PTA's authority to decide among themselves. They have their own rules, they have their own guidelines to do their fundraising, that is a generic term that I'm using, among the parents. Hindi to sa bata, hindi apektado yung pagpasok ng bata, hindi apektado ang grade ng bata. Bakit ginagawa ng parents yon? Kasi kulang ang pondo. Yung sinabi ng ating kasamahan na nasa MOOE yan, meron yan pambili ng electric fan, idagdag ko na rin doon, ano yung mga kakulangan, di ba? Yung pagpaganda ng garden, driveway, entrance, kung ano pa man. Lahat naman po yan nilalagyan ng MOOE. Pero if I may call the attention of our chairman, talaga naman wala na ho tayo, nagbibigay ho tayo ng maraming pondo, but hindi ho talaga nakokompleto, no? In fact, ako na magsasabi, because baka may magtanong, yung mga repairs, no? Pagpalagay mo ng may electric fan dun sa loob ng classroom, o di kaya yung picture na pinakita ni Senator Bongo, medyo bumagsak yung kisame, lahat po yun falls under repairs of basic facilities. Pero natanggalan po yan ng pondo, na ilipat po sa ibang pondo yan, hindi ho ng Senado. So may mga issue pong ganyan. I think I want to assure our colleague that hanggat makakaya, sinusuportahan ng ating chairman yung ating recommendation to increase the MOOE. So that basic principle, I think everyone in the Senate supports His Honor, na mapondohan sana ng lahat na yan. So, remaining na lang po yan kung ano ho, hanggang saan ang kakayahan ng PTA to among themselves decide to fundraise parent to parent. I cannot add to my answer kasi yan po ang policy. Hindi ko naman ho kayo bobolahin, Mr. President, na iba yung policy. Yan po ang policy na ginagamit po nila. So kung may recommendations, suggestions ang ating kasamahan, this representation is happy to relay at nandito naman ang DepEd para pakinggan ang mga suggestion ng ating kasamahan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, the good sponsor, Honorable Congresswoman Pia Cayetano, Senator Pia Cayetano, sorry. Thank you. Pero gusto ko lang pong balikan, Mr. President, Your Honor, yung sinabi mo, it's been a long time practice. Tama?
Policy po.
Policy, okay, sige. I stand corrected. It's been a long time policy na pinapractice sa DepEd for so many years na ilan sa atin hindi pa pinapanganak dito. Of course, ako pinanganak na ako dyan. Pero dapat a policy should be dictated by the law. So is there a law na kung saan sinasang-ayunan ng policy na sinasabi nyo matagal na pinapractice ng mga taga-DepEd? Dapat lahat ng mga bagay na ginagawa sa ating mga eskwelahan, lalo sa DepEd, na who's receiving lots and lots of budget by the billions, dapat nandoon nakasaad sa batas. Hindi pwede po silang gagawa-gawa ng sarili ng policy na wala po sa batas. Dapat lahat po ng polisiya nandoon po.
Mr. President, may I respond to that statement? Mr. President, as I said, no, kaya ho ako nag-abalang ipaliwanag na ang PD 603 is a very broad law intended to protect the rights of children. Kaya nga po Child and Youth Welfare Code ang pangalan nito. And there is just one chapter on home and school, which is only 2 articles. So, dito po sa articles na to, at binasa ko naman on record, yung pag-create ho ng PTA, wala na hong detalye yon. The fact, Mr. President, that there is no prohibition, that there is no provision that specifically or expressly prohibits the PTA from engaging in certain acts to pursue their mandate.
Yes, there is.
Mr. President, if I may just continue. My statement is, the fact that there is no provision that expressly prohibits the PTA from pursuing their mandate is in itself an accepted principle that there is no violation. It is a rule of statutory construction that what is not expressly or impliedly prohibited by law may be done. So yan ho ang ating statutory constructions when it comes to prohibited acts. So pag sinabi po natin bawal ito, then we need to produce that law that prohibits it. And so we do have yung dalawang RA na binanggit naman ng ating kasamahan. Meron nga hong RA na nagbabawal.
Yes.
But that is why I have been repeatedly explaining that since 1969, ang implementation ng ating DepEd dito, they believe that they have been implementing this in the true spirit of the law na nagsasabing bawal mangolekta sa bata. They cannot collect contributions from school children, students, and teachers. Yun ho ang specific wording of the law.
Exactly. Sige, pagbigyan ko po, I yield my floor to
Mr. President,
Minority
Yes,
Leader.
Minority Floor Leader.
thank you with the permission of my colleagues. The good sponsor mentioned statutory construction, which I used to teach in law school. We have to harmonize, and I'm thankful for the discussion. At least we brought out the RA 5546, and then Article 77 of the Child and Youth Welfare Code. Kung makikita po natin, yung RA, bawal mangolekta sa bata. Okay. Actually, sino kinokolektahan mo kung nangongolekta ka sa bata of elementary school age? Hindi ba magulang din? So if you look at the spirit of the law, bawal mangolekta sa bata at sa kanyang magulang. Ang proviso sa dulo, kung out of the goodness of the heart of the parent, willingly, without any prompting or solicitation, magdodonate siya sa school, hindi bawal yun. Okay. And then, if you look at Article 77, shall organize the PTA, in-enumerate ngayon yung purpose ng PTA. Wala po dun because it should solicit funds to financially help the school. Wala rin po dun sa Article 77 yun. So if we harmonize the two provisions, not only looking at the letter but also looking at the spirit, I would tend to agree with the point of our interpellator, Senator Tulfo, na bawal. And if there is a department order na may interpret na pwede for the PTA to prompt or solicit or to ask contributions from the parents, let's review this department order because in my humble opinion, it violates the law, Mr. President.
Senator Robin Hood Padilla is recognized.
Since meron pong issue ng ancestral domain at ang IPs po dapat dito ay ginagalang, nirespeto, recognized. So kailangan po talaga kasama sila doon po sa pagbuo nitong PAMBI Board of Directors para doon sa isang project.
Opo.
Okay. Now, sabi ko rito, sabi sa batas ng IPs, dapat meron pong tinatawag na selection process at dumadaan po yan sa IPS. Tribal leaders ang pumipili kung sino sa kanilang kamiyembro ang pwede, binibigyan ng authority ang pwedeng mag-witness o maging member ng PAMBI. Hindi po pwedeng basta-basta lang po natin ituturo kung sino dyan sa protection po ito ng mga IPs kasi kayo na po mismo Madam President and your good sponsor, kayo mismo nagsabi kanina, alam niyo naman yung IPs madaling ma-influence yan kaya nga po we have this, kaya Madam President, Madam President, Mr.
PAMBI.
Kaya nga po we have this.
Maybe just request, well, of course, Your Honor, the sponsor, can we allow her please to continue? And you will give you all the time to ask the
No,
question.
Madam President,
Yes.
ako munang magsalita kasi I'm explaining Inagaw niya po yung time ko I was the one explaining, and my witness is the
We
minority leader.
suspend session for a minute.
Ma-displace yung ating IPs para ma-exploit po yung ating mga lupain at masisira po yung ating tubig, ilog, mga puno, etc. Yun po yung point ko. And again, I don't disagree with you na kailangan din natin yung mining. Pero dapat responsible mining at dapat sa tamang lokasyon. At kapag marami po nagreklamong mga Pilipino, pakinggan po natin. In fact, pati po yung mga foreigner, third party na gumawa po ng auditing, sila mismo ay nag-oppose na hindi dapat ituloy yung Oceana Gold, pero pinagpipilitan po natin. Madam Sponsor. Okay na tayo po dyan. Now, last but not the least, ito na po yung sinasabi niyo kanina. Masungi Conservation Area, Ancestral Domain.
Sabi sa'yo, last but not the least, the Masungi. Ito. Okay.
Bakit po pinayagan ang isang wind farm na magtayo doon po sa Masungi Conservation Area na meron pong ancestral domain issue?
Talaga pong there's something wrong with the contract with Masungi. Kasi hindi ho pwede yung perpetual.
No, I'm not sorry. Let me talk. Para hindi na masayang oras natin. I'm not talking about Masungi Foundation. I'm not talking. Mamaya na po natin pag-usapan yun later. What I'm talking is just the Masungi Conservation Area. Not the foundation. So, despite the fact na ito po ay declared as ancestral domain at meron pong nagkiklaim ng mga IPs at under proclamation number 1636, it was declared as a sanctuary, wildlife sanctuary and game preserve. At hindi po dapat pwedeng panghimasukan ng anumang commercial activities, explorations, exploitations, etc. Dahil marami po mga ibon dyan at mga halaman na endemic po sa Pilipinas.
In 2020, a proposal to measure the potential of wind energy was given to us by the family of processing process. Just to measure the hindi po pwede.
What are we talking here about the wind energy that they want to do in Masungi?
The wind farm,
Mr. President?
the VENA, Mr. President, Madam Sponsor, the VENA Energy is what I'm talking about. The VENA Energy that was given permit by PAMBI to put up their structure.
Ayun.
You met mas po sa measuring
In fact, if I may add, while you're doing your research, DNR Administrative Order number 33, okay, May 10, 1993. Masungi Rock and its vicinity specifically bounded by longitudes 121 degrees, 17 degrees to 121 degrees, 21 east, west, anyway, etc. It says here, declared a strict nature reserve and wildlife sanctuary in accordance with the provision of RA 7586, otherwise known as National Integrated Protected Area System Act of 1992. At wala pa pong bagong DAO or Department of DNR Administrative Order or na magsusuproceed nito.
Sabi po, wind
It was signed
energy...
Mr. Secretary Alcala, I'm sorry, Madam President.
Mr. President, sabi po, yung wind energy is allowed because it's
Multiple use.
renewable energy. But wala pa daw permit yan. Parang mag-i-study pa lang kung ano yung potential ng wind energy. Yun lang ang ibinigay nila. They cannot operate yet. Parang yung PAMBI, ang ibinigay lang is a study of the potential of the wind energy in Masungi.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't be. Dapat in the first place, wala pong gagawing study doon kasi naghukay na po eh. Marami na pong structure doon. And I have pictures to show. What are the pictures?
Ang sabi po nila, yung PAMBI, binigay lang is to determine the wind energy. May conflict po eh. Ewan lang natin kung yung binigyan ng permit to measure the potential of wind energy, kung dinisobey nila na nagawa na sila doon, pero it is based on a study lang.
Madam President, meron na po mga struktura doon, nag-umpisa na sila na maglalagay ng
Part ba yun ng Masungi?
wind farm doon.
Yung nilagay daw po doon, hindi part ng Masungi, sa Pililya daw yun. It's not part of the legislated protected area. Yung
Yes.
pinaglagyan ng mga improvements na yun. It's beyond the legislated protected
I'll
area.
help you, Madam Sponsor. What happened was, ginamit ng PAMBI yung Section 25 ng Republic Act 11038, INIPAS 2018 as amended. What does it say? Doon po sa Section 25, special uses with protected areas.
Assumption yun.
So nagkaroon po, because of PAMBI, binigyan po yung PAMBI sa batas na ito, nagkaroon ng amendment na para ideklara kahit isang protected area na into multi-use. And this has to be amended. Kasi it runs contrary to the spirit of the law protecting.
They want to
Our-
study and investigate what happened because of your contention. Can you give us yung study nyo para a copy lang of the study so they can investigate kung there was a violation of the law?
The area kasi is a strict protected zone, Mr. President, Madam Sponsor. And having said that, DNR should know better na if it's a strictly protected zone, hindi dapat nila panghimasukan yan.
Nagagalit siya kasi
Hindi dapat nila inisip kahit ba renewable energy na manghimasok yan. I don't have any problem with renewable energy na para mag-proliferate sa bansa natin because me being the chairman of the Committee on Energy, payag po ako sa renewable energy pero dapat ilagay natin sa lugar. Huwag po doon sa mga protected area, especially po na meron pong mga ancestral domain issue na dahil misplaced po yung mga IPs natin na walang mga boses at walang mga kalaban-laban, pinapalayas doon sa kanilang ancestral domain dahil sa ngalan ng development, aka salapi.
The point of view of the DNR is in every protected area there is a place for strict implementation of the law. They call it the strict protection zone. Tapos there are also areas in the protected area, yung tawag nila multi-purpose, multi-use zone.
Yes.
So hindi naman nila pinayagan to sa strict protection zone. Doon lang sa multi-use zone.
Exactly.
Ayun, kung may other complaints na pinaalis yung mga tao, ganun-ganon, then let's have the complaint and we will investigate.
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you very much for that answer, Madam Sponsor. That's exactly what I want you to say. Now, ang nangyari kasi, nagkaroon po ng multi-use zone, classify po ng DNR using Section 25 of the INIPAS law as amended 2018 from Republic Act 7586 of the NIPAS Act of 1992. Now, yan po, hindi ko na pwedeng contest yan dahil batas po yan. Okay? I will not contest. However, nakasaad dito, para ang PAMBI ay payagan na mag-classify ng multi-use sa isang strictly protected area, kailangan, ito na po yung minention nyo kanina, Madam Sponsor, members of the PAMBI board, which consists of DNR Regional Director, Governor, Senator of the Republic of the Philippines who is duly registered resident of the province, district representative of the congressional district, mayors, chairperson of barangay, regional directors, DA, NEDA, DOST, DND, 3 representatives from NGO or PO, 1 but not more than 3 representatives from IPs, ICCs, and then 1 representative from the academic institution, and finally, 1 representative from the private sector. Now, gusto ko pa malaman kung nasunod po ba ito na itong lahat ng nakasulat dito sa Section 11 ng Republic Act 11038 2018 as amended ng INIPAS, kung nasunod po ito ng pagbigay po ng multi-use ng DNR sa wind farm na Bernas Energy. Bena Energy, kung nasunod po. itong
Nandyan
11
daw po
members.
lahat dyan nung magbigay ng permit.
Well, can I see the list kung sino tong 11 na ito na pumayag na
Yeah, we will
ma-exploit po yung ating environment doon po sa Masungi?
Sa amin, yung mga local mahilig.
I need the list of those people na pumayag na i-exploit natin itong tinatawag nating Masungi Conservation Area na which is declared as a strictly protected area. So itong 11 members na nag-sign, members of the board sa PAMBI allowing exploitation
Local po.
of Masungi, I need a list of those people
Kami nga.
and their signatures. And very important to me is yung pong IPs. Meron po bang pumirma na IPs?
Meron ba?
Meron. I need a list and I need the
They will submit to you those who signed.
What? But right now,
Kasi pero ho yan, I'm warning you that yan, majority wins. Di ba? Kahit na hindi pumirman lahat, kung majority pumirma, panalo yun. Oh.
I know. Pero ang selection process niyo kailangan meron pong IPs.
Ayun,
doon.
pinapalo.
Kaya nga, paano po sinelect yung IPs? May I know?
Oh.
From the experts?
Baka hindi naman pumirma yung eyepiece. Alam nyo, miski eyepiece, naaano din yan eh. Nai-influence din yan eh.
Ay, dapat hindi.
Ay nako, tell it to the Marines.
Sorry. Tell it to the Marines. Dapat hindi po. Kasi, kawawa naman po yung mga IPs.
sa
Kulang nga po-
legislated protected area,
Yeah.
nangyayari yan. Yung mga barangay nai-influence eh.
Kawawa naman po yung mga IPs. Kulang nga po sa pinag-aralan, kulang po sa kaalaman. And then, i-exploit po natin because we're saying na madali silang ma-influensyan. Dapat we try to help them to make sure that they will not be easily influenced so that gagawin po nila kung anong tama para sa kanilang proteksyon.
Oo nga, hindi siya maniwala na yung IPC pumirma. Kaya huwag mo na sabihin sa akin, ako alam kong pwede yun, pero siya ayaw niya. Kaya sige niyo na lang kung sino yung pumirma. Diba?
I'll help you. Would you mind if I'll help you?
Yeah, you're very welcome, Mr.
Okay.
President.
Kasi bago po mapili ang isa o dalawa o tatlong IPs na sumama po sa PAMBI sa selection process. Number one, dumadaan yan sa Indigenous Political Structure or IPS. Okay? Ano po yun? It consists of tribal leaders that have exclusive right na para magpadala po ng representative nila kung hindi sila mismo ang sumama doon sa PAMBI. Number one. Number two, dapat dumadaan po sa tinatawag na FPIC, Free and Prior Informed Consent. Process ito na ipapakita na itong IPs were not coerced and were not influenced, just like what the good sponsor said na madaling na influence. Kaya nga po papasok itong proseso to make sure na hindi po sila na-influence, hindi po sila na-coerce. Ito po yung FPIC. And finally, evidence to 1 and 2 I mentioned, dapat may certification precondition or CP documents from NCIP pirmado na nagkaroon ng tamang proseso at pumayag ang IPs community. In the absence of these three, then invalid po yung pag-recruit nyo ng IPs para maging member ng PAMBI's board.
Kasi influence. Ano naman niya eh, precondition na yun. Kaya ano pinayag? Diba? Ipakita mo naman yung mga papeles para ma-convince ka. Kasi hindi natin yung free condition notion na siya eh. Diba? Mr. President, we will just submit all the papers available to the DNR about the action of the PAMBI. We just want to reassure you that it is not yet a permit to operate the windmill. It's just a study to find out the potential of the wind farm here in the legislated.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, good sponsor. Yes, I definitely agree with you. So, I need to see the CP.
Yes.
Certification of precondition signed by the NCIP. Kahit na testing pa yan, kasi ang nakalagay sa batas, kahit na testing, dapat hindi. Doon sa mga lugar na merong issue sa ancestral domain. Kaya nga po dumadaan doon sa tatlong sinasabi kong steps. Without those, then invalid po yung mga nakapirmang IPs doon. So I need a copy of the CP na pirmado po ng NCIP. Because kanina lang po, tumawag ako sa NCIP, wala po silang pinipirmahan na CP allowing the exploration, the testing of anything whatsoever commercial doon po sa Masungi Conservation Area. Now, if you cannot show me CP, again, I will defer the budget at the DNR in favor of the IPs.
Can we defer? Do we have time to defer?
Wait. Wait. If the sponsor has a think, don't disturb the funding, and it is up to the chair of the subcommittee and the chair of the finance committee to agree to your recommendation.
I understand, Madam President. Yeah. So I would submit those amounts in the amendments that I would like that I wish to be transferred to the agencies that I did mention. However, for now, yeah, if the DNR wishes to, they can submit to me, copies of those documents that they said they're trying to research now, and they are going to show me, especially those last documents that I requested, the certification of precondition signed by the NCIP. Now, if they're saying na meron po silang ganon, then I need the person that will show me the CP na signed ng NCIP, put that person under oath na yan ay valid documents, at kapag napatunayan na hindi valid yan, siya po'y makukulong, makakasuhan dahil I just spoke to the NCIP people, main office and regional offices, wala po silang ini-issue yung CP. Now, kung otherwise sinasabi ng DNR na meron, then let's see.
Yes, we recognize Senator Villar. Yes.
They were the DNR was saying that what the IP signed is to make the study. There is no permit yet to implement the project. So when you cannot ask for the NCIP commitment because that is given when there is a project. But ito parang permit lang to study the project. So ang pumirma lang yung IPs, yung IP representative.
Kaya nga po, para makapagpirma ang isang IP representative, dumaan po dapat doon sa tatlong process na minention ko po. Number one, dapat may tinatawag na indigenous political structure. Tribal leaders po ang mag-assign, mag-designate kung sino ang allowed na mag-represent doon sa tribal group nila. Number two, meron po yung tinatawag na free and prior informed consent to make sure po na ito po yung process ng NCIP to make sure na itong IPs were not influenced and were not coerced. And then finally, dapat po meron pong evidence of 1 and 2 that really happened. Certification of precondition, ito po isang documentation from NCIP to ensure na nagkaroon po ng tamang proseso, and this should be signed na pumayag po yung IPs, and this document should be signed by the NCIP committee. Now, sabi niyo po, ang ginagawa ay testing pa lamang. Even though testing pa lamang, dapat po merong paalam sa mga IPs kahit testing pa lamang po yan.
Mr. President, it is not the power of the DNR to appoint the IPs or to see to it that the right IPs are represented in the PAMBI. It's the PAMBI who will decide if they will accept the representation of the IPs. So, hindi po natin marirequire ang DNR doon kasi may right ang PAMBI to choose kung sino ang magiging member ng PAMBIs. It's according to the law.
Madam President and the good sponsor, yes, kasi once na ginamit niyo po yung IPs, meron pong batas ang IPs sa pamagitan ng tribal group nila. You cannot just go to the IPs and approach them and say, hey, you, I want you to be...
No.
Kailangan po may proseso talaga.
Ang sinasabi ng DNR, hindi sila magpo-provide ng information na yun, kundi yung PAMBI. Kasi sila yung nag-approve na yun ng member ng PAMBI.
Exactly.
So, the DNR cannot produce that document. It's the PAMBI.
Yes, Madam President. The PAMBI,
Masungi.
yes, the PAMBI are the ones, base po doon sa batas na binanggit po kanina.
Kaso ang member ng PAMBI, hindi naman lang DNR. marami. Oo, may
Yeah,
local
but since
government.
There's an
may
issue,
LGU.
Madam President, good sponsor. Since meron pong issue ng ancestral domain at ang IPs po dapat dito ay ginagalang, nirespeto, recognize. So kailangan po talaga kasama sila doon po sa pagbuo nitong PAMBI Board of Directors para doon sa isang project.
Opo.
Okay. Now, sabi ko rito, sabi sa batas ng IPs, dapat meron pong tinatawag na selection process at dumadaan po yan sa IPS. Tribal leaders ang pumipili kung sino sa kanilang kamiyembro ang pwede, binibigyan ng authority ang pwedeng mag-witness o maging member ng PAMBI. Hindi po
PAMBI,
pwedeng basta-basta lang po natin
Hindi.
ituturo kung sino dyan sa protection po ito ng mga IPs kasi kayo na po mismo Mr. President, Madam President and your good sponsor, kayo na mismo nagsabi kanina, alam niyo naman yung IPs madaling ma-influensya kaya nga po we have this, kaya
PAMBI,
Madam President,
power dyan,
Madam President,
ang DNR.
Mr.
PAMBI.
kaya nga po we have this.
Standard, maybe just request, well, of course, Your Honor, the sponsor, can we allow her please to continue? And you will give you all the time to ask the
No,
question.
Madam President,
Yes.
ako munang magsalita kasi I'm explaining Tinagaw niya po yung time ko I was the one explaining and my witness is the
We
minority leader.
suspend session for a minute.
Secretary, and we got a commitment from the Secretary and the Department, particularly the head of the PAMBI, which is the RD Nilo, will visit the office of Senator Tulfo on Wednesday together with the PAMBI. Bring with you all the documents, RD Nilo. And of course, what's important are the members of the PAMBI para makausap sa ni Senator Tulfo. That's a commitment that we're giving him. Is that correct, Madam Sponsor and
Yeah.
our dear Secretary? They're nodding their head. So, Senator Tulfo, is that
Mr.
all right? Is
President.
that all right?
That is okay with me. I'm going to terminate my interpellation because I received 80 pages of documents coming from the DNR and we will study it. And just like what you said, on Wednesday we'll meet again and see what happens with the people that they're going to bring in as witnesses, resource persons. And let's see kung ano pong mapag-usapan at makikita natin. Thank you.